My name is Dale Stevens. I'm an author, education activist, and Teal Fellow. I'm currently working on a book called Hacking Your Education, which is a practical guide to learning outside of school. The book is about empowering students to take charge of their education. I left school in 5th grade, skipped middle school and high school entirely, which would be impossible here in Germany. Spent a short 7 months at college, and then left college about 9 months ago because I realized that I could learn more from the real world than from sitting inside a classroom. The book builds on my story as an unschooler, the self-directed form of homeschooling that I engaged in, and I've also been interviewing people who found success through non-traditional ways, either by hacking their education, finding a way to take advantage of schools and make the most of their college experiences. In some cases, they left school entirely because they simply weren't able to make it work, but they've gone on and done awesome and interesting things without relying on the institution of school. People like Justin Waldron, one of the co-founders of Zynga, Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller, Seth Godin, people like Peter Thiel, Joey Ito of the MIT Media Lab, all individuals who've done fantastic things that are leading happy, productive lives, but are doing so without the traditional credentials. My parents were very supportive. In fact, my parents were supportive of my decision to leave school. In fact, my mom, who was a public school teacher at the time, was one of my biggest advocates because she knew from working in the system how messed up the system could be, how the system encourages people to follow directions, to meet deadlines, to go and answer questions at the back of the book, and stamps pretty much every ounce of agency out of an individual. I think the goal of education as a whole should be to instill people with a sense of agency, to understand that they can choose what to learn, they can choose what to do, they can choose to work on something that they're passionate about. But I think it's important to note that becoming the next Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or Bill Gates is not the only option. I've also been talking to people for my book who are leading happy, productive lives and contributing to society, but aren't necessarily world famous. The internet democratizes our access to knowledge, which makes learning outside of school much easier than even when I engaged in it nearly 8 years ago. When I went out and formed collaborative learning groups, we would go to the library and check out books and use our dial-up internet to maybe download syllabi. Today you can go and stream MIT OpenCourseWare videos or use the Khan Academy from your computer, which means that as knowledge is more accessible, universities and formal institutions of education have less and less of a grip on the monopoly of knowledge.